Now just to talk about the mouth of the roundabout, it's important on approach that you know how many lanes there are when you're going to get there. Because what you want to do is dominate the road space in the lane that you've chosen. So as you come in, what we're going to do is look forward. We see that it's a single lane approach, and a single lane approach will be found at a mini roundabout or just a small roundabout that's maybe been turned from a T-junction or from a crossroads into a roundabout. As we approach, then we can see that there's only one lane, so we're going to stay in the middle of that lane. The reason being, you don't want to move to the left or right and have traffic coming up and barging their way through. The next roundabout kind of layout that we come across is the two-lane on approach. So as you approach from down here, again you're going to know which lane you're going into, because if you're turning left or right, or even going straight ahead, then you know the lane discipline. So as we approach now, we're going to look for the middle of the left-hand lane for turning left and going straight ahead. And if we were turning right, we'd be moving towards the middle of the right-hand lane, which would then be the only lane that we use for turning right. Again, the middle of the lane is extremely important because it makes you dominate the space and it stops people trying to take advantage. The final one is a three-lane approach. Now, if there's no markings, we use a left-hand lane for turning left, and we use a left-hand lane for going straight ahead. So we would only use the left-hand lane for straight ahead and left. We use the right-hand lane for turning right, and as you can see, the middle lane at this stage would not be used. And this is the reason we wouldn't use the middle lane. If there was a car here and here decided to go into the roundabout from either lane, if I was in the middle, then what would happen is I would go into the middle of the two vehicles, and this vehicle would come across this way. If this one was going in this direction, then I would end up being what we call the meat in the sandwich. So you've only got one head, so you can only check one shoulder at a time. So putting yourself in the left lane would keep the danger on the right, or putting yourself in the right-hand lane would keep all the danger on the left. By going centrally in that lane, we could come into a lot of trouble. Now just to talk about the roundabout as we approach, if it's got a mark in there. What would happen is you would see the lane markings on the road surface. This one could be left, this one may be straight ahead, and this one could be right. So in that situation, what we're going to do is we're going to move the bike into the designated lane. One of the issues with this is if there's a lot of traffic about and it's congested, if you end up in the left-hand lane, and then as you get close to the roundabout, the cars then move off that marking, and then you see you're in the wrong lane, pop your left indicator on and then turn the wrong way. You won't be penalised for that by the examiner. However, if you went straight ahead from this lane because you've got the incorrect lane on approach, the examiner would fail you on the test. So it's extremely important to see your road markings on approach, and if you don't see them and you end up in the wrong lane, then just go the wrong way. There is something else that you may find on approach to this style of roundabout, and you might have the road marking here and a signpost prior to the junction, and that gives you the lane that you need on approach. So it's extremely important while you're riding towards a roundabout that you're picking up the information signs while you approach.